Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network. Great to have you with us today. A reminder, you can follow us on Facebook. Very simple, facebook.com/This Week in America. Facebook.com/This Week in America. Back with us on the program is Moses Cryer, a former minister. He's the author of several poetry books, including Cryer's Collection, available at Amazon, and Pearls of Poetry. Just finished work on a new book, a children's book called Journey to Oak Grove. Journey to Oak Grove. He's with us on the program today to talk about that. Moses, welcome back to This Week in America. Great to have you with us on the program.
Thank you.
We talked before about Cryer's Collection. We're going to talk a little bit about Journey to Oak Grove. Now, this book is not available as we're recording this. The book is available, will be available in the fall, so keep checking it at Amazon on that. Moses, you've been done with that book for a few months. Talk a little bit about that Journey to Oak Grove, which I mentioned is a children's book. Tell me about the book and the inspiration.
Well, the inspiration came from a friend's grandson. I wanted to write a children's book that children could read and children could get enjoyment out of. It just came from my mind. It just came from my imagination about little people called widgeties that live in acorns in Oak Grove, in a fictitious town, and it's just a little adventure of a man who is turned into a widgetie by being sprinkled by widgie dust, and it just takes off from there.
Is it fun writing a book like that? That sounds like fun because you can sort of escape and go to your another world, a world that you created.
Yes, it is. It is really fun. It stretches the imagination and it shows how creative I can be, and how I can stretch my imagination, and how I can be versatile in different genres. So.
Yeah, the book is called Journey to Oak Grove. It will be available this fall at Amazon. Our guest in the program is Moses Cryer. He was on the program before to talk about his book, Cryer's Collection. Let's talk a little bit about, from the time you get the inspiration to write this book, you decided you wanted to write something that would be meaningful for kids. From the time you first decide that to the point where you're ready to have it published, how long a period is that, and how many times did you go back and make changes to what you originally set out to do?
Well, I made a few changes, and I decided to go with my original ideas. So I just went with the original ideas because I thought that the original ideas were good, and I just have to get the illustrations done and go to Barcode Graphics, my printer, and have it printed, and it's been a little while for the funds become available, and it should be by next fall.
You mentioned the illustrations. That's interesting. How difficult is that to get somebody else to have your vision? So what they're illustrating, which they're drawing, is really what you had in mind, and what will be best for kids to see as they're reading the book.
Well, I have descriptions that I wrote down in my notepad, how I wanted to illustrate it to draw the widgeties, right, and the bullfrogs that they ride, and the dragonflies, and the oak trees, and the insides of their little acorn houses, and I have it all planned out.
How much of an inspiration were stories that you read as a child? I mean, as you went in, you had some vision for this world you were about to create. Did that come out of stories that you heard and read as a child?
No, I think Dr. Seuss was more of an inspiration to me because I grew up with Dr. Seuss books when I was a child, and like Green Eggs and Ham and all those interesting books that Dr. Seuss wrote were more of an inspiration to me than anything else.
The new book is called Journey to Oak Grove. It will be available this fall. You can check Amazon for that. Check back with us as well. The original book we had Moses on, Moses Cryer, our guest in the program. His book was Cryer's Collection, that as well is available at Amazon.com. What would you like the kids to take when they finish reading the book? When kids have finished or when parents have finished reading the book, because you'll touch some parents with this story as well, what's the takeaway? What would you like them to have when they're finished reading Journey to Oak Grove?
Well, I like them to grow up with what I grew up with. I was taught not to be judgmental or prejudiced of different people of different walks of life. These Wichites are little people that live in the Oak Grove forest, and I'd like children to grow up loving other cultures. And I see, for example, Latinos. I had a friend that was a Latina, and I loved her very much. And I didn't look at her as my Latina friend. I looked at her as my friend. And I like children to grow up that way, to look at people as their friend and not as their Jewish friend or their African American friend, but as their friend, just as their plain, simple, ordinary friend.
What age group are you targeting this for?
I'm targeting between like 2 and 6.
Well, that sounds great, except that I can't wait to read it. So that's okay. So basically, 2 to 60 will be the age group, eh?
Yes.
Like the parents will be reading it to kids, and they will be getting something out of it as well. Journey to Oak Grove is the book. Moses Cryer, our guest on the program. A few minutes left in the show, and I want to talk about getting an inspiration. And I knowing you and how your mind works, I'm sure you're working on other ideas. What are you working on now? What books?
I haven't been working on anything lately. I've been like on a sabbatical. But know my mind. I'll be working on new things to get ready to publish once the funds become available. I'll be working on probably another poetry book. About love gained and love lost, and that'll be my next book.
When you're writing a book, talk a little bit about the process you go through. Is it constantly, as you're thinking of things, writing them down? I would think it'd be difficult once you're in the process of writing to actually shut your mind off. Your mind, I would think, would keep going back to the book and things you want to say, illustrations you would like to use. Is it sort of an ongoing process where there's no off switch?
Yes, there's no off switch. It's just usually... I'm usually thinking, like when I lay in bed at night, I think of, what the illustrations are going to look like, what the characters are going to look like, what I'm going to write, and then I get up in the morning and I jot my ideas down because they're still there, and then they stick with me, and I become part of the book, and the book becomes part of me, and that's usually how I go about a book.
One of the nice things in writing a book is you get to do the dedication. I know that's very meaningful for you. The new book, Journey to Oak Grove, who do you have this dedicated to?
I have it dedicated to an elder of my church's daughter. She's going to be 3 years old pretty soon. And it's going to be like a birthday present for her.
And I'm sure she'll be excited about that. The book is Journey to Oak Grove. It'll be available this fall. Moses, we'd love to have you come back in the program as we get closer. I'd love to get a chance to read it. We can talk about it again on the program. Moses Cryer, our guest on This Week in America. The book we talked about last time is still available at Amazon. Cryer's Collection. I got about 30 seconds left here. Let's talk a little bit about that. These poetry and your thoughts on a number of topics. And I still, as I go back and look through the different topics and read through them, it's still meaningful. Do you get a lot of people that comment on how important this book has been in helping them through difficult periods in life?
Yes, a therapist at Bristol Hospital Counseling Center in Bristol, Connecticut, used it as day treatment, day hospital program to help people through hard times and through psychosis and depression and alcohol and drug addictions, and to get in touch with the inner self to heal and to recover from the difficulties.
And as I recall from the last time we talked on the book Cryer's Collection, you went through difficult times, and the chapters you have in Cryer's Collection, these are really tools that you used to straighten your life out, if I recall correctly.
Yes, I suffer from anxiety disorder, and that really helps me to get a handle on things pretty much, and it helped me to get through some times when I had like panic attacks, and it helped me get through some times when I was a little angry, things of that such nature, and so it was therapeutic for me too.
The book Cryer's Collection, available at Amazon.com. Keep checking because this fall, the new book Journey to Oak Grove, designed for children from 2 to mid-60s, available at Amazon. Journey to Oak Grove. Our guest on the program has been Moses Cryer. Moses, thank you once again for joining us on the program. Great to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Rick.
You're welcome. You're listening to This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network.